Welcome, everybody. This is the weekly agenda for Biblical Traditions, week of 1026. So, what will we be learning this week? We are in the middle of the Exodus tradition. Last week, we looked at the historical context of the Exodus tradition. And we were asking the question, if the Exodus tradition is historically dubious, why did the ancient Israelites write the story the way they did? Who were the ancient Israelites? And if the story is not history, why did they write it? And so we looked at three terms. We looked at the peasant insurrection theory, the radical egalitarian peasant community, and the Asiatic tributary model in order for us to understand the historical context of the Exodus tradition. At the end of the week, we said, okay, let's leave the historical context behind and let's look at two groups of people that are moving from slavery to freedom. And what we looked on Friday was the Reverend Dr. Martin Luther King's speech in Detroit in 1963. And the question we're asking now is how does that speech function as prophetic imagination? Prophetic imagination we described as a term that both criticizes and inspires. And so you took notes on the speech on Friday. On Tuesday this week, we're going to look at Hugh Masekela's trumpet. So we're going to take a look at South Africa. You watch a little video or documentary of what was going on in South Africa in the 80s and 90s and that movement of that group of people from slavery to freedom. And how does Hugh Masekela's trumpet function to criticize the apartheid regime, inspire people to move toward a different future? Because ultimately, that's what we're going to jump back and look at the Exodus tradition. Now that we've looked at the historical context of the Exodus tradition and how contemporary texts are used to criticize and inspire, we're going to read the Exodus story, chapters 1 through 15, and see how that text for the ancient Israelites living in these radical egalitarian peasant communities, how that text criticizes the Egyptians' oppression and exploitation and inspires people living in these radical egalitarian peasant communities to live in a different way. So that's our goal. We have these assignments. The first two, Biblical Israel and the MLK, we assigned last week and will be due on Monday and Tuesday. I'm going to assign you to read the first 6 chapters of the Exodus story, and that will be due on Wednesday. We'll watch the South Africa video and answer some questions in class on Tuesday. And then you have the 4 review questions that I'll assign at the end of the week, due next week. So we've got a lot going on. We're right in the middle of the Exodus tradition, and we're getting ready then to do a presentation. That will be your assessment, a presentation on the Exodus tradition, which will be for next week. So look forward to seeing you in class. Bye-bye.